Are you prepared to take the oath, Senator?
I am.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
It is a tradition Lady Bird Johnson began.
Would you place your left hand on the Bible and raise your
The
right
First
hand?
Lady holding the Bible as the President takes the oath of office. Is she just standing by her man? Or is this evidence of something else? A political partnership, for better or for worse.
Lady Bird Johnson said to me, if you weren't close before, you'd sure better get close now, because in the White House, and Jackie said this, the only two people you have are the two of you.
Kati Marton is the author of Hidden Power, a history of recent presidential marriages.
The way that the couples in the White House are different from the rest of us is that they have to put the presidency ahead of everything else in their lives for those 4 or 8 years. If they don't, then they don't succeed, because the responsibility is so crushing and the scrutiny is so total.
So the real love stories at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue have seldom been the hearts and flowers variety. Abigail and John Adams were the first couple to live in the White House, which anyone who watched the HBO miniseries John Adams saw was unfinished and pretty awful when they moved in. Like so many First Ladies who followed, Abigail Adams was her husband's reality check.
Really, John? Such shenanigans. From a man of 60. And the president at that.
Americans watch for public signs of the private reality where presidential marriages are concerned. Nancy Reagan coaching her husband.
Doing everything we can.
As his mind faded. The distance between the Clintons after the Monica Lewinsky sex scandal broke.
The Nixon relationship at the outset was a genuine love story. He pursued her ardently. And then once they were married, he betrayed her for his only real love, which was politics.
Do presidents make good husbands?
Mostly not.
Mrs. Franklin D. Roosevelt in the field.
Think of Eleanor Roosevelt or Jackie Kennedy, hiding the pain their husbands' infidelities caused. What Americans saw was their loyalty to the presidency and their sense of history.
That's the oldest thing in the White House, the only thing that was here since the very beginning.
This is Helen Taft's dress. She was a musician.
Lucinda Fraley is education director of the National First Ladies Library in Canton, Ohio.
These are paintings of Ellen Wilson, the first Mrs. Wilson, who was before Edith. Everyone remembers Edith.
Indeed. Edith Wilson, who married President Woodrow Wilson after his first wife's death, is criticized today for overstepping her role. When her husband was incapacitated by a stroke, she isolated him from his closest advisors and effectively ran the country. Rosalind Carter was attacked for attending cabinet meetings. Hillary Clinton for taking on a formal administration job, healthcare reform. Unelected First Ladies traditionally exert soft power behind closed doors.
Is this the oldest one you have?
The National First Ladies Library has letters dating back to the early 19th century.
But there aren't many of women writing back and forth to their husbands about their lives in the White House?
Evidently not. If they're out there, we have not seen them yet.
When President Warren G. Harding died, his wife Florence got rid of any scrap of evidence concerning his extramarital affairs and the Teapot Dome bribery scandal, the nation's biggest political corruption case before Watergate.
So many of the First Ladies did not want their private lives known. There's a wonderful story. It's not a story, it's the truth.
Picture the Trumans post-presidency, back home in Missouri, in this very house. As Bess is standing by the fireplace burning letters, Harry walks in and says,
"Bess, what are you doing?" And she said, "I've I know what these letters are. I've written them to you. And she said, I'm destroying them.
But Bess, he replied, think of history. She said, I am.